The God of my childhood was first my parents. This is my mom, this is my dad. This is me. I'm from a place called Strawberry Ridge. 50 acres. Here I am, this little kid with purple flowers, fascinated by flowers. My dad gave me what he had. My mom gave me what she had. His dad killed himself when my dad was 3. My mom's mom died in my mom's childbirth. So they parented me. They just adored me. They thought, this is an incredible bouncing baby lesbian, is what they thought. And unfortunately, all they had to give me was what they had. They loved me to the best of their ability, but they didn't know how to parent. They hadn't had healthy parental modeling themselves, so they had no way of really being a healthy parent to me. So as a very small child, I became, in a way, my own parent. And one of the things that happened was that they were my God when I was a kid, tiny tot. And the way that they controlled me was by shaming me, blaming me, finding fault with me, reward and punishment. And the biggest of all, to control me, they made me guilty. So when I say higher power, I don't mean the God of my childhood that was shaming, fault-finding, blaming, judgmental, judging. This higher power in AA, in Codependence Anonymous, is a non-judgmental. This higher power loves me and accepts me for my wonderful preciousness just the way I am. Just as you are all accepted for your preciousness just the way you are. So it's not a matter of performing anymore. This is sometimes called the patriarchy. Hi. Are you new? What's your name?
Dawn.
Dawn.
Uh-oh.
That's my name too, Dawn. Nice to meet you. Okay, are you in the program?
Yeah, I just got in residency.
Great. Well, welcome. We all welcome you in. Okay. So, this patriarchy situation is about control. And the control is this shame, blame, fault, guilt, reward, punishment. When you hear this stuff going on in the house, this is what I call Jekyll talk. And this is a pattern from childhood, because that's all many of our parents knew how to give us, was what they had been given, which is Jekyll language. All Jekylls are really unarticulated giraffes. It's just that sometimes, if you come to me to bring me a gift, you got a gift here, but when you're talking to me and say, look it, I got a gift for you, Dawn, and you come across with judgmental language, like I feel distrustful or betrayed or abused or rejected or devalued by you, I'm going to have my giraffe ears on when I'm listening to you to hear the gift that you have in your message. So it's not just about that I can talk giraffe, which I'm just learning how to talk it, which is the language of non-shaming, non-blaming, non-violent, no fault, no guilt, the language of being in the moment, communication skills, non-violent. So I have to put on my giraffe ears to hear a message that's coming with Jekyll delivery. So there's a lot to this. And what this looks like, if I really want to have boundaries and clear communication, what this looks like, I think communication, intimacy is not about sex at all. Sex has nothing to do with intimacy. I think communication is about having healthy boundaries, two peoples having healthy boundaries, and having a kind of a spiritual energy that goes in between two people with two healthy boundaries. And when this happens, there's something, it feels like a miracle to me, but it's not a miracle, it's quite easy to do. But when this happens, we have intimacy. And the spiritual boundary is about having boundaries and not having boundaries at the same time. It's like I'm really, really close to you, and yet I'm really, really separate from you at the same time. Any questions so far on communication, on this spiritual connection? What's the matter? Go ahead.
She was offering me a pad. I said no, I was just listening.
There's one that's not being used if you want to use that one. Any question on this? You ever heard of this before?
Is that what we want to strive for then?
I don't know, because I'm not going to say what is in your life. I'm going to...
Okay, because I don't know if I wrote it down properly. So I have having boundaries and then not having boundaries, but it's not an enmeshment.
No, it's far different from anything that I've ever experienced in my childhood or in my adulthood. It's about the ability to be interdependent instead of being dependent or anti-dependent. And actually, intimacy is kind of fun. In a way, it is kind of fun. And I think it's emotional, it's almost emotional, spiritual food. Without intimacy, I'm not sure that I could survive. And that's probably why I was so suicidal for so many years.
What's your definition of intimacy?
I was actually suicidal all my life. What do you mean?
Can you give me a definition of intimacy?
Yeah, I have it all written down right now, but let me put it on hold, and I will get that to you. Okay, so any question on what I'm saying right now? Cindy?
No, I was rubbing my eye.
Okay.
You can
Anybody
only do
else?
this for so long and then your eye starts.
You can take a
watering.
break if you want. Okay, if I don't have healthy boundaries, I digressed a little into giraffe language. Let me get back to boundaries. If I don't have healthy boundaries with these components, internal, external boundary, higher power, I'm going to be in a bit of a bind because I won't be able to protect myself. When stuff happens out in the kitchen, I might fall into regression, or I might fall into old patterns because I'm under stress and I don't know necessarily what's coming, what is going down.
Post-acute withdrawal?
Post-acute withdrawal, absolutely. And that's not about the kitchen stuff, that's about my life of being traumatized and not having boundaries and not knowing how to protect myself and how to contain myself in an appropriate way.
Is that where the tears come in too? Could they?
Yeah.
It's the trauma?
Yeah. I'm guessing that you're feeling pain right now. Are you willing to share what's going on with you?
I don't know.
You know, Jerry, this whole process is a real big, giant grieving process. Because when I discovered what I had lived through and what had been done to me, with me, instead of being celebrated in this life, how I had been by the patriarchy denied, and even, you know, for a long time, girl children were not celebrated. Girl children were murdered at birth in lots of places of this earth. I'm not saying that's happening right now, but celebration of a female child is new. So I'm really guessing that your losses are heavy for